It's redemption week on Walking Dead. Let's start. Let me start from the top. Hi, I'm Jay. We're gonna talk about the show. First off, that poor little innocent white girl. She just wanted her daddy to come home. Okay? But by the time this was over, the governor had bashed her grandfather's head in and she watched him ruthlessly murder monsters. I mean, in a way that little girls shouldn't have to see. When you rip a guy's throat out and then you like slowly pull just this part of a guy's head off, that usually traumatizes a little girl. No wonder she couldn't talk. You know, I wouldn't want to say shit after that. But let's talk about it. So this week was a bit of a setup, and I'm gonna explain why. Last week it ended where you just seeing the side of his face at the jail, and you see the patch, and you're like, oh shit, he's just gonna get in there and he's gonna start trouble and just decimate stuff. He's gonna be a big problem, right? So I'm coming into this week, I'm excited. I'm like, oh, let the pain begin, let the bullshit begin, and it doesn't. We see a story of a broken man who's just been defeated. He went over the top and he did something that he totally regretted, and he's been punishing himself just like really bad. He's finally, looks like, for one, he lives in the world of the Walking Dead. What that means is he has a big dirty beard, which I personally believe if you live in a world like that, you don't have time to shave, and you probably can't find a razor. So that's good. He had the big dirty beard, the long scraggly hair, and there's a general lack of response. His two guys left him. First of all, when I watch you shoot a bunch of people who's supposed to be on your side, that's when I leave. But they gave him the night, and then they left him. So he's going through this period of time where he's just roaming the earth, basically, and I get why they did it. Okay, he's the most hated character on the show. Maybe even in the show's history. He's the most hated character. So you have to kind of find a way to humanize him and bring him back, you know, just bring back some of the positive feeling for him, and makes sense. On paper it makes sense. So he goes through this whole thing with these people. He meets this family, and there's a little girl. What a coincidence. He had a little girl once, and she doesn't talk. She, you know, kind of scary and kind of withdrawn, and he's like barely alive. He's just there, and over time they start to grow like a connection. They all start to, you know, gel together. They witness a loss together. He saves them. It becomes the whole thing, and you see a development of his character, which is great. Okay, we see he's not just a heartless monster. He has a soul, he has emotions, and he does care for people, which is a side of the governor you don't see. Great, that's cool. Also, after all this, the girl starts to talk again, and we find out she thought, when she first saw him, she thought he was her father, because her father did the classic, I'm gonna run down and go buy a beer and I'll be right back, you wait here, and never came back. Okay, that shit happens a lot. I'm weirded out about it, because I'm like, I'll go with you to get a beer. You ain't leaving me by myself. I'm going with you, so you ain't leaving me. But that happens, and you know, that's enough to scar a girl. But then you turn around and the world falls apart and it's a zombie apocalypse. That must make it just a tad bit harder. So he goes through all this, and then by the end of it, this little girl means more to him than anybody else in the world right now. He does everything he can to save her. She's in danger. He saves the whole group from a bunch of walkers. He does his thing, and he becomes somewhat of a hero to these people. And at the end, he's holding the girl, and he's like, I'm never going to let anything happen to you. And that's beautiful. Fantastic. Tear to my eye. Boop. Cool. Now, that being said, all that's great. Here's the problem, though. I don't believe him. And not that he cares about people, and not that he's, he's remorseful, but at the core, he's still a bad guy. Okay? I don't believe that whatever this thing is with this family is gonna last. The moment he sees Michonne, this stuff is that eye's gonna start throbbing on him, and he's gonna be like, that bitch took my eye. Oh no, I'm evil again, and it's gonna be back. So I'm not buying it, is what I'm saying. The character, he's an incredibly evil character. He's a maniacal guy. I give him his props because he did something that I've never seen before in the world of zombies. He created a zombie bomb. Okay, that's when you stuff a bunch of zombies in a truck and ram them into somebody's front yard and open the door and let them run free. That's brilliant. That's devious. It's maniacal. I enjoyed it. I get that. I don't like this new softer side. I don't trust it. I don't believe it. Other than that, I think I'm going to put it there because it's starting to run a little long. But anyway, this episode, it was middle of the road. I understand what they were doing for it, but it didn't really get me pumped. I enjoyed it, but like I said, it's not that kind of thing where you're like, oh shit, what's about to happen next? We'll see what happens. I'm sure it's gonna grow and grow and get to that point when he gets back with and meets Rick and all that. It's gonna get crazy. So till that happens, until next week, I'll see you guys later. Deuces. This was fun. If you want to see more reviews, click the like button, click the subscribe button. We can, talk to me in the comments and maybe say, hey, I know a show you should watch. I might check it out. Stuff like that. So that's about it, guys. Deuces.